Assalamu alaikum. मेरा नाम है लुबना सैयद and I'm your host for Reflections of Pakistan. और आज हमारे गेस्ट होंगे सरवर कुरैशी who's a CPA, Chartered Professional Accountant, और हम उनके साथ थोड़ी बातचीत करेंगे कि बिज़नेस ओनर्स को क्या करना चाहिए और फिर वो कुछ चैरिटेबल वर्क में भी इन्वॉल्व्ड हैं बियॉन्ड नेटवर्किंग, तो उसके बारे में भी उनसे पूछेंगे। अस्सलाम वालेकुम। और आज हमारे गेस्ट हैं सरवर कुरैशी, चार्टर्ड प्रोफेशनल अकाउंटेंट, एंड हम उनसे कुछ बातचीत करेंगे एंड he'll tell us about his company and also some of the other not-for-profit and charitable work that he's involved with. So welcome to the show, Sarwar. How are you doing today?
Allah ka shukr. Assalamu alaikum.
Assalamu alaikum.
My pleasure. Thank you for having me.
Great. So why don't we start off? I know you were born and raised in Canada, so why don't you tell the viewers just a little bit about yourself, like, what schooling did you do, how many kids do you have, are you married, not married, and things like that.
Wonderful,
And then your company, what it's called.
So I am here from Ottawa. I
Yes.
was born in Ottawa. I have a younger brother, Salman,
Yeah.
and my family, my parents, they're in Ottawa as well. My schooling started off in the early stages, Maryville High School, University of Ottawa. Through the accounting studies that I did, I pursued the CPA designation, and through the CPA designation, I worked in a bigger accounting firm at first, and then the current accounting firm I'm with now, which is Patterson and Company. I'm one of the partners there, and we work with small business owners.
That's great. And what made you decide that you wanted to be an accountant?
So I'd say you get a lot of influence from maybe what your parents do.
Yes.
So my father was in accounting, so it gave me a chance to kind of see the work that he did, and I found it interesting. I learned a little bit about what he did, and when I took the classes, I enjoyed them, so I continued to pursue it, and that kind of led me to the where I am today.
That's great. And what about your brother? You mentioned you have a younger brother.
Yes.
Is he an accountant as well?
No, so his name is Salman. He decided to pursue the engineering field.
Okay.
I think in our culture it's very common.
Doctors, engineers. Yes,
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah, so he
Yeah.
is a very successful HVAC engineer.
Okay. And you're married and you've got young kids, right?
Yes, yes.
So tell us a bit, how old are your children? What are their names?
Yes, so my wife, her name is Fatima. Her
Yes.
family is also in Ottawa.
Yeah.
She was originally born in Victoria.
Right.
And we have 3 kids. Our oldest is Naila, 6.
Yeah.
Safia, 4. And the newest addition, Amana, she's about 5 months.
Beautiful. And they're such lovely kids. I've met them.
Thank you.
Yeah, very nice. So now let's talk about your company. Patterson, you said?
Yes.
So where is that located in Ottawa?
So it's in Westboro on
Okay.
Churchill Avenue.
Oh, so it's very close. Okay, that's
Very
very
close,
good.
yeah.
And what kind of things do you specialize in?
So myself, I'm a CPA, Chartered Professional Accountant, and I work specifically with small business owners.
Okay.
So if a small business owner typically has a company, they'll need an accountant to help with different things like their corporate tax filing, personal tax filing, maybe some tax planning, some financial statements, things of that sort. So we have a variety of different clients that are in a different variety of industries, and those are the people we work with.
Okay. And what about if somebody is getting audited, say, for corporate taxes or something? Do you have like lawyers that you deal with as well for something like that, like a tax law issue or something?
Yeah, so over time we build a network of people that we collaborate with. So, in our experience, we've come across different situations, which could include audit and other types of issues that people run into. So over that period of time, you build a database and a network. You kind of see this person who helped on this file, you ran into this person who collaborated on this file, and you kind of put those things together. So of course, if there is a situation like that, we do
Yes.
know some people that we can call.
Okay. And how many people work in your firm? Like, is it a very big firm? Like, how many accountants or so on?
Yeah, we consider ourselves small. Our total office is about 17 people.
Oh, okay.
So we consider ourselves small because there are accounting firms of various sizes. Some of them are much, much bigger. Some of them are a little
I think
bigger.
it's mid-size, no? 17 is not small.
Well, there's no
Yeah.
definition of
Yeah, that's
exactly
true.
what what
Right.
number you need to hit, whether it's 10 or maybe
Yeah.
maybe in my mind maybe 25 plus would be mid-size.
Right.
So we're close, but of course we're kind of definitely a decent size.
And so does your whole company deal with only business owners, or do you guys also do personal taxes as well?
The business owners we work with,
Yeah.
for them, we will do the personal taxes for their
okay.
families. We find those people have situations where we can help them
Yeah.
in a comprehensive way. And if someone doesn't have a business, generally speaking, the expertise we have isn't the right fit because their situation, like as an example, someone is a school teacher, they're an employee, they get a T4, their situation is very simple for what we offer. It's not necessarily the best fit. So those people, we have
Right.
contacts and resources that we can kind of lead them to if they need it.
So your services are more geared towards corporations and other business owners, right?
Yeah, the small
Exactly.
business owner is kind of our sweet
Right.
spot.
Okay, that's good to know. And would you say that, is there any type of tips that you would give? What about, I know you mentioned that you don't do any personal tax returns, only for those people. So do you provide the business owners with tips as well? Like, for end of this year, this is what you should be doing, because you've done their corporation or their business returns, right?
Yeah. Now, generally speaking, we want for people to feel that they're getting value and tax savings.
Right.
So from our perspective, tips, best practices,
Yes.
strategies are very important, because if people feel like they're saving tax, then
Yes.
it's a sign that we're doing a good job. If someone feels like they're paying too much tax or doesn't understand how their taxes are being calculated, then that's a sign that we should be doing a better job.
Right.
So our starting point for most business owners is to kind of have a look at their business and their revenues, expenses, and profitability. See where things stand,
Right.
and if we can maybe make suggestions to improve the business, profitability, maybe improve the tax deductions to decrease the taxes.
Right.
Those types of things are where the owners will feel an impact, and then they'll say, okay, my tax bill has gone down, or I'm saving a little bit more tax, and they appreciate that.
Exactly, because everybody, what do they want to do? Instead of, paying so much taxes, everybody wants to save, right? In business.
Yeah, and if
or even personal.
And if you can save, like over the course of a person's life, tax is a very significant amount of money. If you look at it from like when you start your business and let's say 25 years later,
Yes.
you're running a business, and all the tax you've paid in that time, that could be a very, very big number.
Right.
So it's not to say that we'll tell someone you're not going to pay any tax, because
Of
that's
course.
probably not
It's
feasible.
just different levels of taxes that you can pay.
But if we can find them some savings and say like, okay, we can maybe save you 3 or 4%, over time, that's a big, big savings.
It is, yes. Oh, yes, definitely. And I know like some business owners, they like to donate at the end of the year or just before the end of the year. How does that benefit them? Like to say a charity, for example.
Yeah, that's a great question. So generally speaking, donating to a charity gets you a tax receipt, which you can claim on your tax return. Now, at the individual level, the tax return is based on your January to December year. Now, if you make a donation at any time during the year and get a donation receipt, you can claim it on your taxes.
Like from a company, like company taxes or personal? Which one?
Well, both.
Both,
Now, companies also have a fiscal year,
Yeah.
and let's say their fiscal year is January to December. The same company, if they're going to donate at day one of the year or the last day of the year, they're going to be able to claim that donation amount on their tax return.
Okay.
The benefit of doing it right at the end of the year is you get to see that benefit sooner, because
I see.
because you're now going to claim it on the taxes that are just about to be filed. If you make a big donation at the start of the year, you basically have to wait for the year to go by,
Okay.
and then you'll kind of realize that benefit at the end of the year.
Okay. Now, a different question. A lot of the political organizations, they say if you donate, this much, you get 75% back as a tax credit. How does that work?
That's at the personal side. So as,
Okay.
as an individual, there are political contributions that can
So
be
not
claimed.
company.
Not company.
Okay.
For individuals, there's political contributions that can be claimed, and for those contributions, there's different thresholds.
Yep.
So if you donate, let's say $100, you fit into this category. You donate $300, there's this category, and that applies to provincial and federal politics. So some people
Right.
like to donate to, one party or maybe more
Exactly.
than one party.
Yeah.
And if they do, on their personal tax return under the political section, they can make those claims and get those amounts back that you're talking about.
Okay, so that's more on the personal side. So what other things can a business owner do? I know donate to charity. What else can they do
Another
to
big
help them? Like
Yeah.
instead of giving the money as taxes, what else can you use the money for to benefit in your community?
That's a great question. So what we try to do is we try to optimize the amount of deductions they're claiming. So we look at their business and we say, have you thought about home office? You know, a lot of business owners might have a store or an office or a location that they work out of.
Yes.
But in this day and age that we live in, it's very, very common to have a computer at home,
Yes.
have maybe an area where you take some phone calls and you make some Zoom meetings, you know, so being able to deduct that is substantial if we talk about your home office, if we talk about business driving, if we talk about travel. Like a lot of people, they'll go to another city
Yeah.
and part of that trip might include a meeting with the customer, a meeting with a potential supplier, different things like that. So what we try to do is the first thing, if someone isn't organized, they don't know what they can and can't claim.
Yes.
You know, they're kind of just
Of course.
operating in a chaos. They're just trying to get by day to day. We try to bring them a little bit of organization and say, if things are organized and you know what to look for, these things can be claimed. Let's start to make sure you don't lose those receipts, or you specifically put those receipts aside.
Separately, yes.
You know, the home office, the vehicle, the travel, the meals. You know, some of these things that people might be incurring, but they forget to take the receipt every single time they go to Tim Hortons or wherever they go. Those receipts are lost. Now we might not be able to make the
Then
claim.
you can't claim them, yeah.
Yeah, let's make sure we do a good job of being organized.
Or what about corporate gifts?
Corporate gifts can be claimed. So
Yes.
in the holiday season, I noticed, you know, a lot of people like to give a gift basket. Maybe at Eid time, they like to give an Eid gift. Those types of gifts,
You can claim them as a business expense.
yes, because you are generally, if you're a business, you're sometimes giving them as a thank you to another business that you do
Right.
business with. Maybe you're giving them to your customers. Maybe you're giving them to suppliers.
Right.
Maybe you're giving them to employees. All those things are business related and can be claimed.
So there's so many aspects actually. So it's important for like a business owner to actually have the right accountant. That's what it seems like. Because you know, your accountant is kind of like your backbone of your business. They guide you every step of the way.
Yeah, like we like to, in some cases, tell people we want to be tied in with your business closely, almost
Exactly.
like be your personal CFO, know
Yeah.
what's going on, give you advice. Maybe some people have like a mentality of like, if I don't tell my accountant anything, if I don't tell anyone anything, then you know,
Exactly.
there's no taxes to pay. But that's not how it works at
No.
all. And then it's just more of a mess and paperwork to clean up afterwards. So we really try to
then
get proactive.
Actually costs you more than when they clean it up, then it
Yeah.
ends up costing you more than if you had initially started off with the right accountant, right?
That's right.
Exactly.
That's right.
Yeah.
Proactive, in my mind, is better
That's right.
than reactive.
Exactly. So if people are interested to become your client, how do they contact you?
Yeah. So we have a website, pattersonandcompany.ca.
Okay.
They can find our website. My profile is there. My team and other colleagues are there. They can reach out to us through there. Or I'm on LinkedIn as well, Sarwar Qureshi.
Yeah.
That's another great place people can find me, send me a connection request, and then exchange messages
Exactly.
and things like that to get in touch with me.
That's great. Now let's talk about your other things that you're involved with.
All right.
So tell me, I know one is Beyond Networking. So is there any others before we discuss Beyond Networking?
That's probably a great place to start.
Okay.
And the other one that I do a little bit of is teaching part-time at Algonquin College.
See, great to know. We didn't know that, right? And what are you teaching at Algonquin?
This semester I'm teaching business finance, which
Okay.
is a little bit of accounting and a little bit of finance for people that want to learn more about entrepreneurship.
Oh, that's great. Fantastic. Now let's talk about Beyond Networking.
Sure.
What it is, how did you get it started, how many members, things like that. What kind of activities do you guys do?
Yeah, the basic way I would describe it is it's a social community that brings people together so they can do team building activities.
Okay.
And team building activities can range, so we're not doing something the same every single time. Sometimes it could be bowling, sometimes it could be mini putting, sometimes it could be having just lunch, sometimes it could be looking at some art, sometimes it could be, you know, something outdoors like a family picnic. doing different activities that people can come, they can socialize. Sometimes as adults, the opportunities to socialize change.
Yes,
because
that's true.
Because our dynamic changes, our schedule changes, our social circles change. I found that many people, they like having opportunities and outlets where they can go and socialize.
Yes.
And at the same time, it's productive because if there's business people there, then sometimes there's opportunities for referrals, for
That's
business
true.
conversation. Sometimes if it's not someone from the business community, but there might be someone from health and wellness or other
Right.
aspects, you can always meet someone and learn something. And that connection is what I think is important.
So is that why it's called Beyond Networking?
Yeah, the goal was, I always thought of it as like, some people have a mentality of like, I go to work, this is my work.
Yes.
And then when I leave work, that's it.
That's it.
And
Exactly.
then I have my family and my friends, and it's like two separate worlds where they don't collide. And I always thought, in the world I grew up in, I spent so much time with the people at work, and some of the
Yes.
people are just so nice
Yeah.
that like some people can bridge the gap between work and social.
That is
like
true.
these are people I would maybe go to see on a weekend, or people that I would invite.
Socialize with, exactly.
Yeah, like when I got married, there was a few people that I worked with that I invited.
Right,
You know.
exactly, your colleagues.
You know what I
Of
mean?
course, yeah.
So they were like that close of a contact for me.
Yes.
Beyond Networking kind of tries to exemplify that it's not just networking in a sense of like it's business only. We really want to feel like the social and the business is combined, so we're a little bit
yes.
of friends and business all together.
The human side
Yeah.
of business, exactly.
Yeah.
Good approach. So what kind of people come to these events?
Now, I think COVID changed because
Yes.
before COVID, we had kind of like a certain size and a certain group. COVID afterwards, with the restrictions and everything lifting, our group size has increased significantly in the number of people. I feel like people are more interested in socializing.
Yes.
They missed it. When you can't do it for a while, you appreciate it a little bit
course.
more. Now we have I would say a very, very diverse group. We have people, the core group that used to come is people that are professionals and entrepreneurs, because that's my community and
Yeah,
my background. So those are the
exactly.
people that I know and then I invited, small business owners, other like bankers, lawyers, accountants, professionals. And then some of those people invited their spouses who might be school teachers, government workers.
Right.
People heard about us in the community. And I would say it's kind of expanded. So anyone looking to socialize, it doesn't feel like they're excluded. It's open to anyone and everyone, really.
And any age group?
And any age group,
Okay, good to know.
because like everyone to me, like when you start working, your work colleagues can be
Of course.
any age, right?
Yeah.
Like you could have people that are 17 years old.
Yeah.
In my office sometimes when we have those high school
Yeah.
students or
The
university.
shadow day. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and then you can have people that are kind of maybe 70s,
yeah,
60s.
that's true. Exactly.
In my mind, it's kind of like that. We're open to everyone as long as people want to come and socialize and be open-minded and have
Exactly.
fun. Then everyone has something to add.
So what kind of activities you mentioned sometimes it's a meal or an outdoor activity or maybe an indoor activity, right?
Yeah, what I try to do is a rotation.
Rotation, okay.
That way no one ever feels bored
Yes.
that you're doing the same thing every time. The example I like to use is some organizations, they do like a very big golf tournament every year.
Yeah.
And it works well for the people that like to play golf, but then it
Yes.
doesn't work well for a piece of the community that has never played golf and doesn't really understand
That's
that game.
true.
Exactly.
Exactly.
You're kind of like stuck only
You're
attracting
stuck
a
in
sliver.
that. So you like to cater to all the groups. Okay.
By having different activities, I think you can cater to everyone
Exactly.
because no one feels left out. Like one day you do mini putting, and
Yeah.
some people love it, and some people are like, I have no interest in it. But then you do like
Right.
a simple. We're gonna do a simple lunch. Happens to be at a Pakistani restaurant.
Oh yeah, you have one coming up, right? Do you want to talk a bit about that before we end?
Sure. So in I believe a week, so the 25th of January.
yes, okay.
It's a lunch event. It's in Canada. It's a restaurant opened maybe a year like a bit.
I think just a few
6
months
ago.
ago. Yeah, exactly.
Karai Point.
Yeah.
So in a way, because the group itself isn't Pakistani by any means, the
No,
group
it's a
itself
mixed
is
group.
very diverse. We want to give them an opportunity to go and see
What Pakistani food is?
This
Is
is
it a
what-
buffet or?
This event will be a buffet.
Okay.
And similarly, we did an event last year, which was at a Palestinian restaurant.
Which is great, yeah.
You know, in
So say
November.
somebody wants to go to this event, how do they buy the ticket? How do they reserve? How
Yeah. So the best way is to find me. Like I said, through
on LinkedIn or so on.
I have Instagram as well. Beyond Networking is the page for the events. I also have Sarwar Qureshi for
What
my
time
personal
is it at,
page.
sorry?
It's a lunch event, so I believe it's 12 to 2 on
12 to 2,
on the
and
25th.
what is the cost?
The cost is $30.
$30. So if you'd like to go to this event, find Sarwar Qureshi either
Yes.
on LinkedIn. LinkedIn is probably the best place.
LinkedIn is probably one of the best places.
Exactly. And you said it's from 12 to 2 o'clock at Kadai Point in Canada, which is right near the movie theaters, I believe. That's where
It's in that parking
in
lot.
that plaza.
Yeah, in that plaza.
Exactly. And how many people are you expecting?
So right now we are at about 75 people.
Oh, great.
So we're going to have a really good turnout, a good group of diverse people of all kinds of backgrounds.
Great.
And it's going to be, it's going to be a great opportunity to socialize and mingle.
Okay, and you mentioned it's a buffet.
It's a buffet. So
Perfect.
so we've pre-selected like 4 dishes to keep it simple.
Yeah.
And then, that way
It's easier.
They can try 4 things, don't have to worry about ordering.
Yes.
And then they can have as much as they like.
That's great. Okay. Is there anything else you want to tell the viewers before we end?
No, I'm personally very pleased to be here.
Yes, thank you.
I think, my heritage being Pakistani, I think it's important that we have these conversations and we do what we can to kind of spread our culture, our ethnicity, and kind of the good things that we have.
And it's also like, to encourage the younger people in our community, if maybe they're interested to be, a CPA, maybe, or some sort of an aspect of accounting, they can reach out to you, you could mentor them and so on, guide them a little bit, right?
Agreed. I think when we see people doing things and they look like us or they're from our community, it makes it a little bit more achievable.
It does.
There's like a connection that it's like someone I know did that.
So we can do it too.
So we can do it, and we can also talk to them.
Exactly.
They are not someone that is so far away from us that we have no ability to relate or get information from them.
Exactly.
There's someone that's like doing something really good, but at the same time they're one of us.
Exactly.
And that I think is really inspiring.
Exactly. So thank you so much for coming on the show today and telling us a little bit about yourself, your company, which was very important for business owners, and also about your other charitable work that you do, which is a great cause, the Beyond Network. And thank you, and we'll see you soon.
My pleasure. Thank you, Lubna.
तो उम्मीद है कि आपने हमारे गेस्ट के साथ आज एंजॉय करा होगा. उन्होंने काफ़ी इम्पोर्टेंट इन्फॉर्मेशन हमें दी टैक्सेशन के बारे में, जो स्मॉल बिजनेसेस हैं उनके लिए थोड़े से पर्सनल टिप्स भी दिए, मगर मेनली स्मॉल बिजनेसेस के लिए दिए. और उनकी एक इवेंट भी है कड़ाई पॉइंट पे इन कनाडा ऑन January the 25th, Wednesday, $30. And it's from 12 noon till 2 p.m. It's called Beyond Networking. So if you're interested to get in touch with him, do find him on LinkedIn. His name is Sarwar Qureshi. So until next time, Pakistan Zindabad, Pakistan Paindabad. अस्सलाम वालेकुम. हम लोग रॉजर्स का टीवी के साथ आज यहाँ पे आए हुए हैं, कनाडा पाकिस्तान एसोसिएशन ऑफ नेशनल कैपिटल रीजन. इन लोगों का इवेंट है और हमारे साथ हैं अतीक कुरैशी, प्रेसिडेंट ऑफ कनाडा पाकिस्तान एसोसिएशन. कैसे हैं आप?
अल्हम्दुलिल्लाह सब ठीक है.
दैट्स गुड. तो आज के प्रोग्राम के बारे में कुछ बताइए, क्या है डिटेल्स?
हमारा पहला एक एनुअल इवेंट हो रहा है और आफ्टर अ लॉन्ग टाइम हम लोग जो हमारे एक तो हम अपने तमाम वॉलंटियर्स जिन्होंने हमारे 2023 में हमारे साथ वॉलंटियर किया, चाहे वो फीमेल्स वॉलंटियर हैं, यूथ वॉलंटियर्स हैं, मेल वॉलंटियर्स हैं और हमारे कैटरर्स हैं जिन्होंने हमें सपोर्ट किया, हम उनको अप्रिशिएट कर रहे हैं. उनको अप्रिसिएशन सर्टिफिकेट देंगे और दैट विल बी बूस्ट अदर कम्युनिटी मेंबर्स आल्सो, सो बी पार्ट ऑफ द ऑर्गेनाइजेशन. और उसके अलावा हम एक बहुत अच्छा मेन्यू है हमारा फूड का, और at the end we have a wonderful qawwali, and that will be the whole evening get together, have fun, enjoy, and that we will continue for even next year also.
दैट्स ग्रेट, यानी आप हर साल करेंगे?
हम हर साल ये हमारा हर साल फाइनल एक इवेंट होगा, लाजमी होगा इन द मंथ ऑफ दिसंबर, चाहे वो न्यू ईयर के साथ हो चाहे मिडल ऑफ द दिसंबर हो, तो ताकि हम जितने भी साल के दौरान लोगों ने हमारे साथ पार्टिसिपेट किया हम उनको अप्रिशिएट करें, उन्होंने जितना वॉलंटियर काम हमारे साथ किया उनको रिकग्नाइज करें. सो दैट विल बी आवर एनुअल इवेंट एज लॉन्ग एज आई विल बी द प्रेजिडेंट. So I
Chale.
appreciate all those who will be working with us voluntarily.
दैट्स एक्सलेंट, थैंक यू सो मच. चलें, थैंक यू. अब हमारे साथ हैं हमारे वाइस प्रेसिडेंट काशिफ आलमदार. अब हम उनसे भी कुछ क्वेश्चंस करते हैं आज की इवेंट के बारे में. तो काशिफ, ये बताइए कि आज जो आपका इवेंट है उसमें कव्वाली ग्रुप आ रहा है,
जी.
उसके बारे में कुछ बताइए. कहाँ से आया है, क्या करने वाला है?
शाहिद अली ख़ान साहब नुसरत अली ख़ान साहब के शागिर्दों में से हैं और मैंने इनको तकरीबन 2 महीने पहले सुना था टोरंटो में. बहुत खूबसूरत अंदाज में इनकी अदायगी, और आपको पूरी वही याद आ जाएगी नुसरत अली ख़ान साहब की. और ये 2011 आईफा में सलीम मर्चेंट के साथ परफॉर्म कर चुके हैं. बॉलीवुड का प्रोग्राम था उसमें परफॉर्म कर चुके हैं. तो इंशाल्लाह एक डिफरेंट माहौल होगा और आई एम प्रीटी श्योर एवरीवन विल एंजॉय इट इंशाल्लाह.
I'm sure, yes. Everybody is very excited and I think they're looking forward to it. Thank you so much. अब हमारे साथ हैं अमान रज़ाक भाई और वो हैं जनरल सेक्रेटरी कनाडा पाकिस्तान एसोसिएशन के. तो अब हम उनसे भी पूछते हैं आज के प्रोग्राम के बारे में. तो आज के प्रोग्राम के बारे में आप ये बताइए कि यहाँ पे बफ़े तो बहुत बड़ा लगा हुआ है, कुछ आइटम्स बता सकते हैं क्या सर्व होने वाले हैं?
माशाल्लाह, अस्सलाम वालेकुम. खाने में माशाल्लाह से कौरमा है, राइस हैं और स्वीट बहुत ज़्यादा हैं. सैलेड तो फिनोमेनल है यहाँ की, अमजद की माशाल्लाह से. और ये इवेंट बहुत अच्छा आएगा, टोरंटो से आए हैं. तो बाकी इंशाल्लाह ताला आप देखिएगा आखिर में आपको.
और मेंबरशिप भी यहाँ पे लोग ले सकते हैं, राइट? मेंबरशिप का भी कुछ बताना चाहेंगे?
जी बिल्कुल. इस वक्त अगर आप राइट नाउ अगर लेते हैं फैमिली के लिए तो मेरा $25 है, तो वो बहुत रीज़नेबल है एक साल के लिए. तो आपको 2024 के लिए करवा लें तो बहुत ज़्यादा अच्छा होगा.
सही है, थैंक यू सो मच. अब हमारे साथ हैं नौशीन अमान एंड शी इज़ द वुमेन्स चेयरपर्सन फॉर कनाडा पाकिस्तान एसोसिएशन. वेलकम.
Thank you very much.
तो आज का इवेंट लग रहा है कि इट्स गोना बी एन अमेजिंग इवेंट, सोल्ड आउट इवेंट.
Yes,
Pretty excited?
yes, very excited. We did a lot of work and we try to make people happy, or in this holiday they can mingle around, socialize and see more Pakistani people around and enjoy the holidays. So
That's good. Thank you for doing all the great work. Thank you.